cutting edge guests, awesome, uncensored, jaw-dropping information, plus funny memes, good deeds, and loads of laughter. Kind of have it all. Ladies and gentlemen, if your soul's awake, then welcome, because you're in the right place. Hanging from it. I'm your host, Brad Wozni. I'm grateful to you divine lions and lionesses for tuning back in. I'm fortunate to have become a Reiki master in 2015. I'm an old soul, old Lemurian soul, according to Michael Jaco, and it's something that's resonated with me even prior to him saying that. And my soul's purpose now in this lifetime, this current moment with you, is to help uplift humanity's consciousness with song and story. With this stated, we have an incredible show for you today with one of our guests who's joined us back. We'll get to Jason here in a moment. We're going to pause right now to jump into a little bit of the partner of our program, Roots Wellness, and how they are helping people achieve incredible quantum levels of health and potentially some people even wealth on this planet in this day and age. We'll be right back after this brief message. Everybody, I want to tell you about the all-natural quantum wellness products that are used by Tier 1 SpecOps warriors and healers in over 50 countries worldwide. Better yet, this is a patriotic American business that you won't hear about on mainstream news because Big Pharma can't make a penny off something all natural and works, right? In fact, this is now shown with clinical studies from Dr. Christina Rahm that it helps reverse the nasty effects of those toxic arm thingies. You get it, right, Somers? This is Roots. So here's the thing. It also dramatically heals your gut. It skyrockets creativity and it boosts mental focus. I've been using it for 8 months. An incredible amount of insight has come into it. When you go to therootbrands.com/soul, use the code SOUL and you'll get $15 off applied to shipping of your next order. It also increases your biosphere. As a Reiki master, I can tell you that the vibrational uplift of these products is second to none. So here's the thing. They also have zero in product. This is what rapidly boosts consciousness with intention and decalcifies the pineal gland. What's so good about that? It also gives you incredible amounts of focus without caffeine. This is all natural. When you go to therootbrands.com/soul, use the code SOUL, you also get a new code for you and you can set up your own distributor business. In fact, around the world, there are laid off benevolent healers, healthcare heroes, parents, and now Tier 1 special operators no longer being deployed who have worked their careers to be benevolent and serve the greater good of humanity. Well, some of those people are making big chunks of money every single month by sharing these all-natural products with people, and we're seeing amazing reviews. I mean, even with the Gimme Back My Youth product, which is all natural, there's women claiming their wrinkles have disappeared in just 5 to 7 days, and they look 25 years younger. This is all natural. All of that and more when you visit rootbrands.com/soul. Use the code SOUL, and you get $15 off applied to the shipping of your second order. By the way, when you add Roots Prime shipping, it often ships within just 2 business days to over 50 countries on the planet. And this makes it easy. You said it once, it sends to you every single month. Of course, you can cancel at any time, but when you see and feel the amazing effects of the world's first quantum consciousness, nootropic, and natural detoxifier, then why would you want to? Okay, wonderful. We're back. Folks, please welcome back to the show, Jason Reed, who is literally a conduit of information for the highest levels of the Q movement. Q17 Army has an incredible BiTrue, and he literally pumps out between BiTrue and Telegram a massive volume of information of what is going on in the world right now. He joins us from his home just outside of Houston, Texas. Jason, my good man, welcome back to the show. And it was such an honor being with you last week on the Cosmic Truth Q17, or Cosmic 17, I guess. Is that what we're calling it? Through Louis Herms that he helped sponsor with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back. I always enjoy being with you, Brad. We have a certain kind of connection. I feel spirits, man, I do. And I know energies of people. You can just sense it, and we're getting more like that every day. Our senses are getting stronger. Our abilities are getting stronger. Ascension symptoms are kicking up. And that can be with headaches, but it can also be with gifts. Right. It can be positive and negative. So we're all gaining that every day. So I enjoy being here, and I'm ready to go and talk about whatever we want to talk about today.
That's awesome.
We're free. We're sovereign.
Actually, Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, you totally are, mate. And I appreciate you as a divine masculine protector, a father, a business owner, an entrepreneur, a husband, and doing this and putting out your show pretty much for free on your behalf, like so many of us are doing, to share, to get it out there, to help people with the Great Awakening. And you mentioned ascension symptoms. I like to jump in on that there. People, if you're hearing like, things going off in your ears, different frequencies, I call it angel radio. You and I were just on the phone as you jumped on the show. We were finishing up with Tracy Jaco, her and I had a call, and she calls AI angel intelligence. Why don't we start in the angelic realm and then bring it down to where we are right now for mankind on a global level? Why don't we start? Because you've got, it looks like statues of Pleiadians back there, or the Ashtars. Some people remember Thunderbirds. Let's hear about that. Let's go high level, quantum realm, different dimensions, and then bring it back down to Earth. How does that sound, mate?
Okay. Well,
That's
I
cool.
mean, just briefly, we are all there's 15 dimensions that I hear of. Okay. Whether there's 12, 13, 15, whatever. There's a lot of dimensions. We live in the third dimension, right? We used to. The Earth has already moved into the fourth dimension. As of 2012, we started moving into that. And now some of us are even 5D and 6D, going to 7D. Okay. I've been informed recently that I'm at 6D and going to 7. So that's pretty cool. And a lot of my original group, some of my team. So it's a beautiful thing. It really is. And we've been working hard. We've been working at this for 2 years daily. So there's a lot to it. It's huge. Can be very complicated. But when you take it day by day, step by step, and you go in your heart first, it's so obvious. It ends up being get past for anything. And it seems like we'll struggle with certain things like not eating this or dieting this or doing that. But once you get the knowledge to a certain level, you just think of things different. Your paradigm changes, your perception changes of the situation. Right. And then you can get over it. Then you can get out on, but we are ascending through different levels. People are on different levels. We have different learning curves. But the whole point is, whether you come from the 9th dimension or 7th dimension, like Earth Angel, and then you break yourself apart, kind of. It's a pretty complicated thing, and you go down to the 3D, and now we're going back up, raising ourselves back up. But it doesn't matter if you're an Earth Angel, a light worker, a new soul. We're all angelic. We're all angels. Every single human soul made by God is an angel. So a lot of people don't understand that. They think angels are different. It's not true. That was another lie that was told to us. So, but we have Earth Angels, like you said. We have old souls. But it's fascinating. The whole thing was very interesting, finding out who you are, and it's a heck of a journey to go on that journey and to find out.
Right. Well, that's a really beautiful message. Actually, nobody I have come across has put it like that. That, hey, you know what? Wool's been pulled over society's eyes and all this conditioning that you as a soul, you are an angel. Mm-hmm. And you can continue to either walk the path of light. We make our missteps, we make our mistakes, we learn from that, and we continue to evolve. Or you can choose the darkness. We know there's a lot of darkness in this world. And it's really interesting to hear you say that. So thank you for sharing that.
No, it's true. Everybody can be just wonderful. Everybody can be a light worker. Every single person. Now, a starseed can be a light worker as well, if they decide to raise their consciousness, raise their vibration, and to help society. Now, real quick, I want to introduce before I forget.
Yeah, see.
This right here is Seth.
Yeah.
He's a Pleiadian. I'm not sure how to say it. I've heard Pleiadian and Pleiadian. Mm-hmm. But I am, Shooter is, Yeshua was, okay? And so is Seth. And I'm going to tell you something in a second. It's going to blow your mind. Mm-hmm. And this is Kara, okay? My wife made these, and she made them out of her mind, okay? She designed them. She did their face. She did their eyes. And if you can see Seth's eyes, they look like the cosmic universe. Right. They're beautiful colors, and they look like this. They're really cool. But come to find out, they're actual real beings, not these ones, but they're representation of real beings that are helping right now and that do exist. Right on both names, that they're real beings and they look exactly like that.
Wow.
My wife did it out of her head.
Yeah.
Where to go.
Wonderful.
So I've had them in my wife's room because once in a while I still have a bad habit of smoking once in a while. So I didn't want them in here because I promised them to a very important person. So I had them in the wife's,
Right.
safe when she came
Right.
out of the man cave. Well,
Right.
I had to clean it up and
The man
it
cave.
was tough to bring them back in. So it's
Yeah,
a special occasion. But yeah, they're
it
actually
is.
real beings, and so
Mhm.
it's great. But we have Lyrians here. We have many other beings from many other different
Right.
star seeds and planets. But it's very fascinating and it's exciting to learn about. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Brad. Go ahead.
There's no cutting off, man. This is conversation, so it's totally fine. I appreciate that. I've always come in curious, we're the soul of Martin Luther King and, other amazing avatars like Mahatma Gandhi, especially where we are right now, which is non-compliance, non-violence, where the world, literally billions of us waking up can just say, fuck this. No. And that's all of a sudden it stops, right? The child trafficking, the human trafficking, the loosh, the everything. And I'm also, we're going to attempt to have this one live on YouTube, the one that I saw that you shared. And thank you for that on the children, save the children. I did not bother posting it there. There's no way it would live. So I'm going to speak a little bit in code. But the billions of us just say, no, it's done. It's over with, right? No army, no law enforcement, no IRS agent, whatever, wherever you live. The masses just say no. So I've always been curious. Martin Luther King and Mahatma Gandhi, where those wonderful souls came from, and where they're back to now. I imagine they're an ascended master. I don't know if you've had any intel in that, because for those of you tuning in who haven't yet met Jason or were with us 2 weeks ago when we did that show, Jason, why don't actually you tell the intel where you get it from the highest level, and then we'll go back and answer the question if you've had anything on folks like Martin Luther King and Abraham Lincoln and Mahatma Gandhi, where those souls have come from to influence our history for the greater good.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, the person that helps me is with Q Military. They work for military intelligence.
Why don't you describe Q Military? I have Reiki masters on here. I have people who are like, what is this? There's conditioning out there in the lamestream.
You're going to hear so many different things. It's so very multifaceted.
Let's hear it from you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's well, I'm just letting you know so when people hear that, okay, they'll know.
Cool.
All right, it's multifaceted.
Mm-hmm.
Q originally is a book from the Bible, all right, and it's God's plan to save the world. Mm-hmm. Q is also stands for the word quell. Quelle, which is a German word for source, God creator. Okay, another word for God, basically. All right. It was started in 1861 by Abraham Lincoln, right, way back. And it was a member of generals, certain amount of generals and military spies and good guys, basically. Okay. And the names changed throughout the years, going into the early 1900s, all the way through JFK to now. All right. The only thing changed is the people in charge. There's 800 different military top level people that have kept this information and that deal. We also have 2 programs of everything. We have a secret space program that you know about and one you don't know about, right? We have a good FBI, a bad FBI, a good in every country. So that's what's so huge about this operation, is cleaning it all up. But this gentleman was in our military and he was shot down by his own government, and his family was murdered. His whole team was murdered. Him and one other guy survived. He went undercover, and then he got activated. He realized he's a starseed and who he is and all that. So he went to work for the military again, got back in there. He was undercover for a while. And then he got put in a position by Trump and the good guys. All right. And they've been at war. We've been at war since 9/11. Since September 12, 2001, we've been under martial law. We've been under soft martial law. So this stuff about January 21, no. We've been under it since September 12, 2001, right after 9/11. Okay, so we've been under this since then. Everything's been a show since then. Your vote doesn't count. None of that stuff this has all been a war. This war has been going on a long time. And in 2012, it kicked up. 16, it kicked up again. And now we've won. As of a year ago yesterday, we took over rule from the Drop reptilians on August 21st of 2021. The timeline was supposed to be last August. Things got pushed back. But now we have all the technology. Project Looking Glass, we have this black cube, the black satellites, the spaceships, the time technology, every single thing. But the weather, the heart, everything. They can't do anything. All they have is little minions left. So now it's about exposing it. It's about us waking up. It's about us spiritually ascending right now, working on our spirituality. and about learning and waking up the rest of humanity and spreading love and learning how to live in the fifth dimension and above, because it's going to be totally different than what any of us are ever used to or ever lived under, you know. But far as Shooter, I've named him Shooter Weston because of two people, because of the series Shooter and the movie, which was on all the time. They show it lately, but the series about Shooter, he was a military guy and got screwed over by his government. Okay. And
inserts in the edit, I'll be putting inserts in here with images.
You say we're going on YouTube?
Yeah. So what'll happen is those images will back up the words we are unable to say, but then we'll see some imagery to what you're saying for that narrative, if you will.
I'll try to be more careful.
Understand. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not used to it, so I don't.
I know. On BiTrue, Rumble, it's amazing. You know, unfortunately, there's so many people.
I understand.
YouTube and the F book and the iGram.
Yeah.
So hey, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I understand, and there's different levels and there's different ways to do this. The whole point is getting information out there and people learning about it. But anyway, he reached out to me. He's a very high source. When you see the picture, you'll see the picture in Telegram and around where they have three gentlemen standing in front of Guantanamo Bay. And there's a military at our military base, and they're holding signs, "We are Q." Shooter's in the middle. He's the R. He's the guy in the middle. And they use that picture for the whole movement. They've been using it for a couple of years now. So he was he's an amazing individual. He's a 7D angel. He's set with the 9. He knows Valiant Thor. Anybody. And he can track with his mind. He can do many, many things I can't even say. The power and the information they have will blow people's mind. But trust me when I say they know everything, the good guys and the bad guys. But the bad guys are done for now, thank God. But they knew everything. The Black Cube satellites, they had a button on them. They could basically push and take you out. Be careful how I say it, but they could make you sick. They could do many, many things. They had every memory you've ever had, every thought you've ever had, everything that's ever happened to you. Now, we've taken them down. Them are all gone. And the good guys are in control now. But like I said, it's just about exposure and disclosure at this point. That's why you're seeing things come out slowly. And about the, and different information about a lot of that stuff is coming out about the exposure. Fauci just resigned today, matter of fact. So goodness is coming. Greatness is coming. And he's been right it's been 15, 16 months now that I've gotten information every day. And he's never been wrong one time. Everything's been on, and it's been 9 months to a year ahead of the rest of the truther community. Right. So I know there's no question, and I put it on Telegram for the last few months.
Conspiracy theory becoming conspiracy fact, right?
Thanks for bringing that up. That was a phrase made up by the CIA in the 1950s. They created.
Mel Gibson showed it with that movie with Julia Roberts back in the day, and no surprise that he was forced out for a lot of this stuff. Some of those terms we can't say for YouTube, for the trafficking, and now is coming back full circle, which is wonderful because more of the good is in charge over the evil.
Well, what it does is it discredits the people that are bringing truth, first of all, and secondly, it puts people's brain into cognitive dissonance, and they don't even realize. So they get to the fight or flight response. When did we get to a point where we're scared of information?
Yep.
When did we get so weak that we can't listen to words? Do you know what I mean? And then discern them words instead of freaking out and getting, I got to run to my religion, or I got to go and get angry and attack. And that's what people do, unfortunately. And you'll never move past that level until you learn how to listen, take it in, discern it, and then move on.
With my a point to make there about that, and then we'll also go MLK, Mahatma Gandhi, and I love what you're sharing. I appreciate that. Is my limited military experience in the Canadian forces, and then being a wildfire fighter for the Ontario Ministry of Natural Resources, jumping out of helicopters. Literally, it was awesome, right? Instead of a fire engine, your fire engine is an A-Star B2 or a Bell Long Ranger, and you hop on, and 3 minutes from the time the klaxon goes off on base, you have to be airborne. If you're on red alert, depending on the fire season, and then off you go. And so that was amazing summers doing that, as well as, and being forced to take economics at university. Oh my gosh. We already know my story, so we're not going to go back into it. The key thing here about cognitive dissonance is this, folks, And for those people who, are on more of the leading edge and the open-minded thinkers and using discernment and researching for themselves rather than watching a TV and waiting for the TV or NPR or CBC or BBC to tell them what to think. The thing is, you have to unpack slowly for people, and they have to unlearn what they have learned, like Master Yoda said in the Star Wars movie. Okay. Now, in my experience, when you go into an emergency situation, which we're all in, spiritual war, and what you have just heard from Jason stating, he went from a galactic standpoint. So whether you believe it or not, just hang in there. From the galactics, they shut down the bad energies coming into Earth. I guess I'm using my head as Earth for an example, right? And then they started taking out or returning control. We just saw on military news last week, United States Space Force took control. It was published on military.com, took control of the Space Force defense satellites, took it back, just like quietly added there. And now you're coming down to the minions and you're seeing those big puppets that were at the behest of the puppet masters in all the regimes around the world that have resurfaced, starting to resign, starting to fall off, starting to all of a sudden test positive for the what. Yet here's the thing. When we went into communities fighting fire, for example, or in my ex-wife, who is a PhD of sports psychology, mental toughness, we come up on accidents, boom, living in Colorado or Toronto, wherever we were, come up onto a car accident. I grab my bag, my kit, and off I go and tell her to call 911. And she's just sitting there like this, right? Like this. She's not there. She isn't the person who has trauma, blood coming out her ears up against a tire. This is one particular accident that we arrived upon. Actually, was for her graduation, her PhD, my ex-wife. And just like my wife's white face, the victim of the car accident's white face, all we did was drive up. And my wife at the time is like full on going into shock by witnessing it. Imagine the shock that's unfolding in the world for the people that haven't unlearned what they've been learned, what they've been systematized, what they've been indoctrinated on. This is why you're seeing people call this a movie, grab popcorn, wait for the show as it gets unpacked. Because if you were to automatically, within a matter of days or weeks, unveil the truth, and there's likely so much that I don't know. I recognize there are things I know I don't know yet. And you unveiled the truth, it could literally cause people to have psychological breakdowns and create madness worldwide. Think about that. Okay, I've seen it for myself in many instances, being on the scene at accidents, one of the first responders, just by virtue of being there, where my lifeline put me in, being on helicopters, seeing accidents, seeing people being deployed in Ice Storm 98, whew, big deal, right? And seeing what happens when society breaks down. Being in Toronto, when there was 2 days of darkness, August 14, 2003, Northeast blackout. Seeing what happens to people. Some people party and like, oh, this will finally be good. And other people just freak. So this is why these things need to be unpacked slowly so you don't cause massive civil unrest, and you have the best chance of saving life and uplifting life and shepherding people forward in this Aquarian age. That's my sermon, Jason, to allow us to continue to share here, because I actually haven't went into it that deeply before, but I think that's a perfect example from my own.
No, it is. No, it's a good way of explaining it. And it's true. So you got to understand, they know much more than we know, right? They have much more information than we have, the good guys, all right?
Yeah.
And they know that we have different learning curves. People wake up at different levels. We have different conditioning and conditions, different backgrounds, many other things, different intellectual levels, all right?
Yeah.
And another thing to throw in there is a lot of us are star seeds and we're indigo children. Do you know about the indigo children?
Yeah, myself, yeah. I'm one of them. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, recently, I've known I was Pleiadian or Earth Angel, but I definitely know that I'm indigo as well. And there's a reason why, because, you know, there's a few things. And one thing I want to say is don't be so heavenly minded that you're no earthly good. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We also have to keep it real with people and be able to get on their level and explain things to them. And everybody has to have their own way. So do you. But some people that are a little so elevated and so you can't really get to the common man then, unfortunately. So you have to run your race and do your thing. All I'm saying is keep in mind that what our real mission is, and which is to help everybody and to help all God's children. Okay. So we're Swiss Army knives. Okay. People that are indigos are Swiss Army knives. We have very many different gifts. And that's why I'm not into labels. I don't like labels. Bacon, I'm this, I'm that. You know what I mean? I'm anything I want to be. You know what I mean? I'm not pigeonholed into anything. And I think labels do that to people, and we get tied to our identity and our identity from this lifetime. We may have 6,000 lifetimes, and you're still trying to deal with this one. So yeah, we need to go slow. People will be in a hospital freaking out, some of them, because they're not star seeds, they're not old souls, they're not earth angels, they're not experienced like us and have the ability to look through stuff like we do. We can learn stuff in a day that might take people years. And that's not being arrogant, okay? That's what it said about indigo children, okay? That's for another thing. And so everybody's not the same. We can't just think about ourselves. Right. We have to think about the whole. We have to think about everybody and realize in another life, we might have been a sheep. We might have been ignorant. We might have been bad. You know, we were a woman, we were a man, we were Asian, we were Black, God wanted us to have a piece of everything, wanted us to feel every experience. We were rich, we were poor, we were medium, you know? So, and that's for our soul evolvement, right? And like the Indians say, we have four main things that we do. And most people never get past the first two as far as their soul. It's all about material pleasure, what makes them pleasurable, what gives them pleasure in life, and their security, their safety. They never get to the third and the fourth. They never get to worrying about other people before them, or worrying about the other people just as much as them. You know what I mean? So, and they also get programmed not as well. They have strong intuition. So you can't brainwash an indigo child as easy. You can't, but not as easy. We vibrate higher. We've made the way for the crystalline babies to come in. So we're tenacious, we're headstrong. We question everything. A lot of us are rebels and didn't follow the rules. But we're also like a fire hose full of water sometimes, all over the place. You know, we can be that way.
Right.
But we love truth, and we love justice, and we love information as light. We're told to be salt and light. Salt, give yourself some flavor, have a personality, be yourself, be authentic, right? But light is truth. So that's what we're supposed to bring light. Light is truth, it's information, it's love. It's all the same, you know? So you can't manipulate people when they're strong, when they're informed, and when they're healthy. You can't manipulate because they can think for themselves. Mm-hmm. So anybody that tells you to do things this way or go jump through them hoops and do this and do that, if it's not making you feel better, if it's not evolving you, it's a distraction. It's not right, you know? Right. And we're spread out. We're not from the same professions. We're from different professions. We're from different everything all over the world. All right. So, and then we're here to raise consciousness. We're here to receive and transmit light. And there's also blue rays. Blue rays that can also be an indigo as well. But we're way seers, and we're bold, and we're honey badger. You know what I mean? We're tenacious. We don't stop. So when you learn more about yourself, knowledge is power. Knowledge is a placeholder for fear. You know, fear just keeps it in there. And that's why people get scared, because they don't understand. Yeah. When you understand more that there's nothing to be scared of, that you have angels around you right now, that you have star seeds around you and God, source creator, and so much energy and protection that they couldn't hurt you if they wanted to, you wouldn't be scared. If you realize what they can do with this technology, what a quantum computer can do, when Shooter contacts me, he has to use a cell phone. But when he puts a cell phone down, he goes to a computer that's 7,500 times alpha and 10,000 times beta, better and faster than anything we got. All right. It can do shit we ain't even thought of yet. Mm-hmm. You can control avatars on other planets. You can look back in the eyes of any being that ever lived. All right. Anything. An ant, JFK, Martin Luther King. What did he see when he was 4? What did he see? What is he going to see when everything. We can talk to people live and FaceTime on another planet. Run an avatar on another planet. It's so amazing what that thing can do, and the technology that's coming. And I was tasked with technology and child trafficking. So shout out to you for doing that video you did and for bringing that. You know, nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody, oh, that subject's so nasty. Oh, I don't want to see that. Oh, that's so, and I understand it is, it's horrible. But that's how we got into this shit, by being afraid to talk about that stuff and having the guts to say it and speak the truth. You tell me if that was your kid that happened to, that you wouldn't stand up and say something. So I'm not scared to talk about that at all with anybody. And we should be able to ascend ourselves and elevate ourselves enough to where we don't wallow in it. You don't watch it for 14 hours. You know what I mean? But you make yourself aware of it. Feel that pain. Feel that emotion. Feel what that does to you and what maybe they had to go through. And then maybe you won't be complaining because this is taking too long. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely. Amen to all of that. Amen to all of that. Who do you feel? JFK, Mahatma Gandhi, some of the other very benevolent, and by the way, those may be male figures. There are Joan of Arcs as well, female figures in our lifetime. So remember, folks, this is a balance, divine masculine, divine feminine. This is the feminine age. This is the Aquarian age. You know, men have to raise their feminine softness, right? And courage and vulnerability of their heart and their truth, as well as the feminine that have been far on the masculine side of their personality to tap into that. It's not a weakness. Together, that balance, that's power. That's your ultimate power. You know, as Tracy Joe was just saying, she said, we don't have free will, we have willpower. That's what Creator has instilled within us. Who do you feel that some of those benevolent figures in history, where they have come from? Or have you got some information on that, Jason?
Well, saying just a little bit about that point is the correct balance that we want to get is 70-30. All right. You want to be, if you're a male, you want to get to 70% male and 30% female, right? As far as the estrogen and the masculine, you know what I mean? Testosterone and your balance. So you're exactly right about what you're saying. Now, we've been in a soul trap. Okay. The devil invaded everything, not just the words or medicine or pharmacy or education, or they invaded death. All right. They invaded the earth, the plate tectonics, every single soil, the poison, everything. You know, Roundup you put in your garden, that's Agent Orange. It's the same exact chemical. And they got us poisoning our own stuff, thinking, oh, I'm growing organic. You're poisoning yourself with Agent Orange and your vegetables and think you're organic. Unreal the shit they did to us. But we
just found out last night. I just wanted to share this with you because Amy is about to launch a real all-natural, amazing product company, and the label USDA organic only means 70%. So just, that was just one of the things she had to talk with her marketing team about. That the reason she's not putting organic on it is because it only means 70%. It's not even really organic. Red pill right there. Continue, my friend. And then the soul trap.
Well, we were in a soul trap. So
we're going to have to do part 1, part 2 in this, because this will be awesome. So if you're open to it, we can continue. We'll do a part 1, part 2, because this is really important stuff as well. We're talking soul trap here.
No problem. Well, look into NDEs, look into near-death experiences. Not you, but just the people in general. I'm sure you have. But when you look into them, you learn a lot about it, about what people say. And they usually say, oh, I seen a light, right? I've seen a light. Go towards the light. No, don't go towards the light. It's a trap. So you go towards the light, and Lucifer is a false light bearer. Okay. That's what he is. He's the false light. So when you would go towards that light, you would get caught in a soul trap. And then boom, you're in a baby body in India somewhere, going, what's going on? And you forgot everything. You forgot everything. So the devil had us in a soul trap. Now, I'm sure God used it for good. It was a way to train us and evolve our soul through it. All right. But now we are on our last incarnation. There is no more soul trap. Even that's been fixed. Okay. When this time we're done. And if you've made it this far, most people are here for a reason. You're either here, unfortunately, if you did take one of the bad ones, to go and testify to that in a spiritual way, to show people what it did and how bad it was. You know what I mean? And the other people are here to complete their mission of waking other people up, of ascending, bringing their own consciousness level up. So, but there's been different people. I've seen a lot of memes. I've seen a lot of different things. I don't get into that with him, like this person's that person and this person's that person. I've asked some random questions and got some fun facts, but you can see some pictures of like Morgan Freeman and him in the old days. You can see a lot of the actors, and you can see them in the old days. Look just like them. Michael Jackson, many of them. You can see that we're out throughout history, but that's all of us. But a lot of people, when they think of their past life, everybody wants to be Joan of Arc and Adam and Eve. You know what I mean? And that's their ego usually. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think I was Joan of Arc. You know, and maybe they were, but there was only one of them. You know what I mean? So we don't know. And that's going to come to us, though. We have to get through the Library of Alexandria and then the Akashic Records. And every thought that you've ever had from every lifetime has been recorded. You're going to remember everything in an instant. Everything. So, but you got to be ready for it. We got to have our light bodies. We got to be ready. We got to go through our heart center. When we're talking about men and women, women usually go all through their heart. All right. Men usually go through their logic in their brain. Okay. We got to do both, but we go through the heart first. You start with your heart guided center and intentions, but take your brain with you, right? We do use our logic. We do use our information. We do use our experience, but go through the heart first and it'll connect everything. So make sure your intention's right. Make sure it's not because you're jealous of somebody, you're resentful of somebody, you're trying to match up, you're insecure. Where's the emotion coming from?
Right.
It's about educating our emotions. And if you sit and think about what you're thinking about, why am I thinking about that? A lot of times these thoughts are just passing clouds. You don't have to buy into it. You don't have to give them energy. You know what I mean? But sometimes it's good to think about it. Why am I thinking that? Why is that coming up? And that's called educating our emotions. And that's how we keep ascending and getting up higher and higher.
Wild. So who would you think that they are? And if they're back right now, either as an ascended master or in a person?
Right. I don't know. I think some of them that definitely probably planets. You could have been through this type of great awakening thing on another planet before and already did it. And that's
my
why
soul came from Alpha Centauri B. So that was my soul spark is from Alpha Centauri B.
Okay. So yeah, and you could have, we could have already done this. We're just still gaining our memories, getting our memories back. So that's why my biggest point of what I do is letting people know how special they are, how elite they are, that it's not about any of us doing this. We're just the forefront. We were a little quicker, maybe we got out there first, but on the other side, we're all amazing, powerful, super beings, but they need to realize it. They need to wake up to that and find out who they really are. And then they're going to step into their power and the fear is going to go away. The joy is going to come. I mean, I'll sit there and just start smiling like an idiot, know, and I'm like, why am I smiling like a goofball? I made fun of somebody a couple years ago, and now I'm doing it. So it's very humbling, I used to make jokes and say stuff about certain things. And then when you educate yourself and you learn, you're like, wow, that was true. Yeah. And I was making fun of them people. You know what I mean? So
been there as well. I mean, I've been walking that and I may in certain ways, unbeknownst to me at this moment, be doing the same thing somewhere. Not making fun of it and whatnot. Yeah. So and then have that awakening experience go, oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. Right. My apologies, everybody. Please forgive me. Open. If we are. I was just going to ask you another great question. Okay, so Pfizer Gate just came out. We've now got the evidence published en masse. Hundreds of thousands of people dying from the things, again, boob tube, dying as a direct result of what they have coerced, manipulated, told, said, do this for the greater good. On a weekly basis. Hundreds of thousands weekly are dying. Men, women, children, doesn't matter. It's happening, right? And then we also have seen all the evidence that sterilization effect has happened for anybody who is around or has received that. The men and the women are sterilized. So now there's no longer those generations. You're ineffectively not able to have children. What intelligence do you have about that? And maybe the next few weeks and what holds for the world? We're also hearing about, the global blackout potentially happening. We've seen some other stuff. And I'm not here to seed consciousness to create it. I'm here, as you and I are, to share with people to awaken, create an awareness, and then from your heart center, 5,000 times most powerful frequential organ in your body, from your heart center, you can send it out and you can see a vision of a new planet where that doesn't exist. And we can literally change that. So what are you seeing, my friend, and what's come out?
Yeah. Well, quick overview. The shot was invaded in the beginning. There never was a COVID at all. Never existed. All right. It was influenza type A and type B, and the common cold and the common flu. All right. They misreported the deaths. You look at the death statistics for the last few years, they're all the same. It was all about getting you the shot, getting that into you. It's all what it was about, getting you hooked up to the Internet of Things. You can look up somebody on a Bluetooth speaker, find her, and you hit their exact number because they were connected to the Black Cube satellite.
Yeah, they have a MAC address. So MAC is a machine access code address. You can particularly do it on Samsung phones. You can walk into restaurants right now with a Samsung phone, turn on Bluetooth, and see all these MAC codes lighting up because of the people that have this in their body.
I was showing people last summer. Last summer, I was showing people last summer. Unreal. But so when that happened, the good guys went around and took all the bad ones out. Okay. Now they had 3 batches, 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
One had a toxin in it, and one was a kill shot, and one was just placebo, HCQ, hydroxychloroquine wouldn't hurt you. Okay. They mostly gave them to the older people, like my father got one, because they look at them as useless eaters. So he ended up going through a lot of pain and dying, horrible death. And it was horrible. And I told him not to get it in the beginning, but I didn't know what I knew afterwards. I learned as it was going, is when I was just waking up, starting my channel. You know what I mean? But I knew not to, and I told him wouldn't listen to me and did it anyway. My stepmother did too, but she's still around kicking so far. But what I've heard is that from 18 months to 3 years is when it really starts doing damage. It can do 2 to 5% DNA or immune system damage per week. So then you end up called VADES or whatever, you get sick from whatever may come because your immune system's not strong anymore. But there is going to be reversal shots for that. Med beds are going to be able to heal them, and you can ascend consciously and actually heal yourself as well. Pine needle tea also helps as well. And Suriname. So there's many other things out there that can help get the stuff out and help people that have had it. You know what I mean? But that's what it was all about. There was never none of that. It was all about that. And then in the background, they went around and took all the bad ones out. So at least for over a year now, there hasn't been any bad ones unless somebody snuck one in here or there. But mostly they've all been taken out. It was about exposure and disclosure and waking people up.
Yeah.
But before the timeline hit, and this isn't comfortable, but it's the truth. I don't do fear porn, right? But I do get facts, and I'm going to release the facts. We were supposed to lose 4 to 6%. Q said it in the beginning. And it was supposed to be last August. But when it got pushed back, now we have much more people with that in them that are unfortunately not going to make it. And right now, the number's at 20%. So if we raise our consciousness quicker, if we raise our consciousness level quicker, it's possible we can lessen that. But right now, just 2 days ago, we were still at 20%. So that's going to be amazing. And their reason for doing it was to sacrifice. That's their mission, to bring awareness, to help the world. They were trying to take out 90%. 90%. And we would have already been in FEMA camps with gone already. We'd have been.
They were building them a year and a half ago in Washington State. They're building them. I showed videos just before my Instagram was shadow banned. Banned and then shadow ban, whatever the hell is going on with it now, personal one, Freedom Convoy. And they were doing it in British Columbia. And there were other camps, including with Chinese soldiers there, allegedly. I have to say that, apparently, where I am right here, all over, to put all of us in, right? The Toronto Star, just a year ago this month, August 2nd, 2021, the Toronto Star, right? There's Global Mail, Toronto Star, and it's like New York Times in the United States or Washington, whatever the heck it is now, that called for the killing of all purebloods. Called right out for it, and we're taking action against that, but at the end of the day, it's literally to just save people right now and stop that 20% die off, which is still being reported. That may happen. That's a global population. That's hundreds of millions, if not over 1 billion people, depending on the math.
560 million people.
Say again?
1,560,000,000 people.
1.56 billion people at the current rate that it is right now. So this is why we're extremely important in doing this, and doing this out of our own pocket, and doing this on a daily basis, being involved, being on shows, sharing this, folks, to wake people up and also show them that there are things that can reverse this now, that are being proven to help, and they're all natural products that can help reverse this now. If you have remorse or you did something to your kid and now you're realizing like, oh my gosh, I thought I was doing it for the greater good, there are things that can help reverse this now. You don't have to wait, right? And get out there and share it and have conversations. So thank you for that. We've got about a few minutes before we wrap up, Jason. You've had incredible amount of challenges over the last year in your family life, and you have a direct, amazing pipeline to these benevolent folks who are both here as humans helping humanity and off-world, as you've stated. What would be your message over the next 1, 2, 3 minutes to people tuning in here, watching this broadcast or listening to this podcast? What would be your message to them about what they should do for themselves and then do for others based on your experiences?
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest thing I'd like people to understand right now is to exercise faith over fear. First of all, there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to be fearful about. Okay. 2, we can't let this happen again. All right. We're 20% at fault of this. We all are. So we need to take accountability in that before we're ever being able to move forward. We let a lot of this stuff come in. We didn't know about it all, no. But 20% of it is our fault, and we need to take accountability for that. Okay. And once you get past that, then you start working on your ascension level. Ascension is everything right now. Grounding, getting in the sun, getting the sun on you, frequency music, meditation, changing your diet, eating meat and dairy lowers your frequency. So it's take you a while maybe to adjust to that, but find foods that are alive, probiotic foods, fruits and vegetables, and things that are more water, clean water, no fluoride. Make sure you don't drink any fluoride. Make sure it's reverse osmosis or good filtered water. So that stuff is very unconditional love. It's keeping your frequency as high as possible, spending time in balance. Balance is most important. So keep yourself under balance, physical, emotional, social, spiritual, and mental. So we can work on that every day. Keep bad people and drama away from you. Don't let the negativity in, because all it does is distract you. Just going to keep you down. So keep people around you that makes you feel better, that helps you evolve, that are positive. And faith over fear is the biggest thing, because the fear, the worry takes you down to 3D. The anger, the resentment, 3D. And you have to stand up next to him. You are sovereign. You don't have to pay taxes. You don't have to have driver's license. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do, period. You are not to rape, to hurt, or kill, or steal anybody's stuff, or to threaten them. Besides that, you're a free, sovereign individual. And you can do whatever you want, live wherever you want, and you don't have to be beholden in slave masters no more. That is over. So that's what I have for you today. Wish y'all the best.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. And then I'll have your links in the description if you want to share it out here and now.
And then Jay Reed's Take, and I have a Spirit Line chat group on Telegram. So
That's
I have Truth Social, but I don't use it much yet until they come up with me. You know what I mean? I do put my videos on there. So I just don't share everything. I put all Shooter's intel on Telegram. I put all his videos he sends on Telegram, and he sends them every day. So, and then on BitChute, it might take a few hours later, I'll take all the videos from the day and I'll put them on my video for the day. So I'll have 10 to 20 links of different things to teach you. Plus, if you're watching the Telegram, you'll get the answer. Okay.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I appreciate that. I check into that at least once a day, because it's just, you're always learning. And if you ever think that you have known it all, wow, oh my gosh, watch out. Something is going to come around and wake you up to show you that you don't. Mate, thank you so much for this. I appreciate your time. We'll definitely be having you continually back on the show. And thank you so much for what you and your family do and your loved ones moving forward. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Brad Wozni. This is the Sovereign Soul Show. We stand for love, levity, and liberty. Remember, Bling Buddha, keep that smile on the face. Find places to laugh at, because when you laugh and you're in that vibration of love, they can't win, even with the evil that's been perpetrated on people. So find humor, and those silver linings in the cloud, as we so speak. Please leave a comment. Let us know what you like the most about this. And if there's any questions for Jason coming up, you can contact him through his BitChute and Telegram, and also do so here. We do look at the comments and then bring it forward to our guests when we have an opportunity. All the best, everybody. Many blessings. Thank you for tuning in, and have a blessed day and week ahead. Everybody, I want to tell you about the all-natural quantum wellness products that are used by Tier 1 SpecOps warriors and healers in over 50 countries worldwide. Better yet, this is a patriotic American business that you won't hear about on mainstream news, because Big Pharma can't make a penny off something all natural and works, right? In fact, this is now shown with clinical studies from Dr. Christina Rahm that it helps reverse the nasty effects of those toxic arm thingies. You get it, right, Somers? This is roots. So here's the thing. It also dramatically heals your gut. It skyrockets creativity and it boosts mental focus. I've been using it for 8 months. An incredible amount of insight has come into it. When you go to therootbrands.com/soul, use the code SOUL, and you'll get $15 off applied to shipping of your next order. It also increases your biosphere. As a Reiki master, I can tell you that the vibrational uplift of these products is second to none. So here's the thing, they also have zero in product. This is what rapidly boosts consciousness with intention and decalcifies the pineal gland. What's so good about that? It also gives you incredible amounts of focus without caffeine. This is all natural. When you go to therootbrands.com/soul, use the code SOUL, you also get a new code for you, and you can set up your own distributor business. In fact, around the world, there are laid off benevolent healers, healthcare heroes, parents, and now Tier 1 special operators no longer being deployed, who have worked their careers to be benevolent and serve the greater good of humanity. Well, some of those people are making big chunks of money every single month by sharing these all-natural products with people, and we're seeing amazing reviews. I mean, even with the Gimme Back My Youth product, which is all natural, there's women claiming their wrinkles have disappeared in just 5 to 7 days, and they look 25 years younger. This is all natural. All of that and more when you visit rootbrands.com/soul. Use the code SOUL, and you get $15 off applied to the shipping of your second order. By the way, when you add Roots Prime shipping, it often ships within just 2 business days to over 50 countries on the planet. And this makes it easy. You said it once, it sends to you every single month. Of course, you can cancel at any time, but when you see and feel the amazing effects of the world's first quantum consciousness, nootropic, and natural detoxifier, then why would you want to? In fact, I just had 3 separate guests on my show, from a psychic to a director, from the UK and Ireland, all the way across North America to a best-selling author. All 3 of these amazing humans are using Roots, and they cannot say enough about its incredible virtues and how it's affected them and made positive impressions on their life and in their biosphere and their ethereal light bodies. So this includes removing the deadly graphene oxide and the heavy metals. Clean Slate is one of those from the system. You know what I mean here. You know, if you know, you know, right? Health is wealth, right? And doctors agree shedding is a thing. We've seen that from Dr. Martin, Dr. Thorpe, Dr. Christian Northrup, Dr. Jane Ruby, Dr. Ariana Love. There are so many medical studies now showing that the shedding from people who have got it, even onto the people that are purebloods, those purebloods are being affected. So the Roots products, the Trinity Plus pack, is one of the most amazing all-natural products that not only protects your body, but anything you come into contact with, it'll shed and remove it from you with grace and ease. As a major reinsurance CEO in the United States recently declared in his Nuremberg deposition, his company has seen a 5,000% increase in mortality of their policyholders in the past year. So to help combat shedding, you order the Trinity Pack Plus. It comes with the Clean Slate, all right, which is drops that you just put under your mouth, a few a day. You'll find the protocol there, as well as one of these 0-in tablets that give you incredible clarity, creativity, and tap into higher levels of consciousness, which your soul is craving for. And this also helps protect your loved ones naturally, so you detoxify your body while amplifying your day with incredible energy and laser-like focus. Who doesn't want that, right? That's exactly what we have right now. So join tens of thousands of people around the globe now enjoying their best life because of these incredible American-made, all-natural health products, which heal the body and massively boost the consciousness of each soul. You go to therootbrands.com/soul. Add Roots Prime to it. Use the code SOUL at checkout, and you'll get $15 off applied to the shipping of your second order. And they'll send you a link that you can use, if you choose, to have your own distribution business to generate massive amounts, potentially, of monthly recurring income. Thanks for joining us on the program, ladies and gentlemen. Please like, follow, subscribe, share this with 9 friends and family. And of course, if you enjoy our blinged Buddha firing red pills from his 9mm, let us know.